In singles play, there are parts of rallies where neither player is clearly on the attack. During these periods of neutral play, both players should aim to move their opponent around the court in order to exploit any space they create. Patience is an important part during neutral phases of play. Straight shots on the whole allow you to stay more in control because they involve recovering to a base that is closer from where you have hit your last stroke. Of course, this does not mean you should not use cross-court strokes, but you should be confident you can position yourself to deal with your opponent's reply. During neutral play, use the corners of the court to move your opponent around. Against players who do not recover well after each stroke, consider making them travel long diagonals across the court. However, beware, this tactic, 1, involves you hitting cross-court, so be sure you can cover the reply, and 2, may not be good against an opponent with good straight line speed. Forcing an opponent to change direction is a good tactic to make a player off balance. This can be achieved by forcing them to turn, as shown here by the nearest player, or by returning to the same corner, as shown here by the player on the far side. Moving a player away from an area of weakness, then attacking that area can be a useful tactic. In this example, the near side player hits to 3 corners, eventually exploiting the forehand forecourt of their opponent. Once an attacking opportunity has been established, there is often an increase in pace. In this example, the far side player responds to a short lift with fast backward movements and hard-hitting downward shots. The more under pressure your opponent, the further forward you should make your base. Here, the near side player has played a tight, early net shot, which pressurizes their opponent, so they stay further forwards. When the shuttle is behind you in the rear court, a good length clear can bring you back into the rally. Cross-court clears can also be used, but this is riskier as it is more difficult to hit a good length and it's harder to cover the next shot. When the shuttle is behind you in the rear court, a pull drop shot can bring you back into the rally. This has the advantage of restricting your opponent's ability to attack. The drop shot should be placed a little deeper in the court to restrict your opponent's ability to play tight to the net. A cross-court block off a straight smash means the follow-up is more difficult for the player using the smash. A straight block off a cross-court smash means the follow-up is more difficult for the player using the smash. From the forecourt, lifts should be of a good length, with sufficient height to clear the opponent's racket and allow enough time for the lifting player to recover their position. Straight lifts are easier to recover from than cross-court lifts, as the base required to cover the next shot is closer. Men's and women's doubles share many of the same characteristics. In particular, both use front and back positions as their attacking formation and side-by-side positions as their defensive formation. Men's doubles is, however, more explosive, and clearing the shuttle is a rare occurrence. The ability to serve and return effectively is crucial in men's doubles to create opportunities to attack. Women's doubles is less explosive and relies more on patient rally building to break down opponents' defences. The longest rallies in badminton tend to occur in ladies' doubles. In women's doubles, the server delivers from close to the tee, with their partner stood centrally in the midcourt. Low serves are generally delivered to the centre of the court to cut down the possible angles of return. For variation, low serves can be directed towards the receiver. This can disrupt their preferred way of returning serve. Occasionally you may serve wide into the tram lines, but this is a higher risk strategy as it is difficult to cover the straight return. Following the low serve, the server should look to cover any net replies. The server should also look to anticipate pushed replies to the midcourt and flat returns to the rear court. This usually involves choosing one side to cover. The server's partner is responsible for covering returns to mid and rear court. If the receiver plays a net reply to the serve, they should seek to dominate the net and kill any further net shots from the server. Straight returns of serve to the midcourt should be followed by an attempt to intercept any straight replies. Similarly, on playing a straight return to the rear court, the receiver should look to intercept any straight replies. The receiver may choose to attack into the body of the server's partner, in which case they should prepare to cover both sides for a possible return. If the receiver plays an inaccurate return, they may have to retreat off the net and form a side-by-side formation. Flick serves can be a useful variation, pushing the receiver back and often forcing them to hit a shuttle when off balance. Wide flick serves can often draw a predictable straight reply, which can be anticipated by the server's partner. Following a flick serve that has clearly deceived the receiver, the server may choose to stay closer to the net. If flick wide and on balance, smash at the straight player or between the two players. A drop shot placed between the two players is also a useful variation. If flick to the centre and on balance, smash at the retreating server or between the two players. A drop shot placed between the two players is once again an option. When returning a flick that has put the receiver off balance, consider using a half smash or drop shot, both of which give more time to the receiver to regain their balance. As an alternative, when receiving a flick serve that has put the receiver off balance, consider playing a good length clear.